What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL video discussing my most disappointing teams of the 2023 season. So let's get into it, guys. So first off, you can put it so far, I guess you want to, in parentheses, but really, I mean, it's week 16 now. The week 15 matchup just ended between the Seahawks and the Eagles. Seahawks defeated the Eagles 20-17 in a pretty close game. And I will say this too. Side note. The Eagles and Seahawks were both on the option, as far as the thumbnail goes, prior to their game. So, they were both considered to be on this list. And like I said, like the thumbnail says, 5 teams. So there's 9 options, 5 teams. So I will be choosing 5 teams from this list. I densed down from 32 to 9. But I will choose my personal 5 most disappointing teams from this season. So let's get into it. And first off, no better way to start than the Eagles. Now, my criteria for this list is not about the record. Record doesn't matter. It's really about how the team looks, how I felt they would look coming into this season. And the Eagles being 10-4, coming off of 3 straight losses, that doesn't matter. The thing I have is they're not as dominant as I thought that they should be. They had no major injuries. You saw Slade miss the game last night. You saw some players miss time here and there. But overall, they have no major injuries. But they haven't really been dominating as they should have, in my personal opinion. And I think y'all feel the same way. Coming off of the draft, coming off of free agency, you can't tell me, even though the Eagles are winning, they're 10-4, they're a top-notch team, and they're still in the Super Bowl hunt. It's not like they're a trash team. They went down a level. They're still a top-notch team. But you can't tell me they're as dominant as you thought that they would look on paper as ending up, how the season played out. Yeah, they beat some decent teams, but they lost some nice games also. Lost to the Cowboys, lost to the Niners, lost to the Seahawks tonight. And it's the games they have won. Most of them were pretty close. Most of them weren't blowout games. And you have Jalen Hurts, who should have been, in my opinion, in the MVP race, same as was last year. AJ Brown, who was dominant in stretches for about a month straight during this season. You have one of the best offensive lines. You have Jalen Carter. You have, an overall great team. DeAndre Swift, Gainwell, all those guys. But overall, the play of the Eagles have not been great. And that's why they're on this list. Not the record, not because they can't win it all, but because of I thought they would be, 12-2. 11-1, whatever, but they would be busting teams across the head, and they aren't quite doing that. So the record doesn't matter. The 4 losses doesn't matter. 3 straight don't matter. It's about how they look, and their defense is trash. Pass defense is garbage. Bradbury's been getting burnt all year. He got burnt just a few minutes ago with the Jackson Smith and Jigba play to win the game for the Seahawks. DK burnt them as well during the fourth quarter. Other teams burnt them throughout the season. So, ever since that holding call, and shoot, not even just recently. I did a video not too long ago on my top 5 disappointing players of the season, and Bradbury was on that list. So, I've been consistent. Bradbury and the Eagles have not been good this season. But, like I said, that doesn't mean they can't win it all. It's just, I thought they would be better than what they actually are. So they're number 1 on this list. Number 2, I'm going to go with the team they played against last night, the Seahawks. The Seahawks were on my Super Bowl prediction. If you go back to my channel, way back, I think in maybe August or September, I put my Super Bowl prediction out pretty early. Well, no, not September, because the season started then. Probably about July or August. I put out my Super Bowl prediction video, and it's a wild one, but I thought it was realistic. It was the Browns versus Seahawks, and I gave out in detail why I thought both teams could get there. I was very big on Witherspoon. I was big on the Seahawks bringing back Wagner, Jamal Adams coming back healthy, Geno Smith, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. What's the running back from UCLA that they got as a rookie? Charbonnet and Walker, the combo there. I was big on them. But the defense steady gives up big plays, and Geno has not been good as he was last year. So that's the main thing there. They're 7-7, still in the playoff hunt. They had a good one tonight versus the Eagles with Geno out, led by Drew Lock. But all in all, though, Just the overall team play has not been up to par. The other cornerback, Reek Wooden, he's been cool, but not great. Like I said, and Wagner and those boys, Brooks, and they brought in Leonard Williams. They're all playing okay, but they're not playing great. Now Williams is playing probably the best on that team on defense. He's playing phenomenal, but outside of him, everyone else isn't playing really strong ball. They're playing good in moments, but they give a lot of big plays. And as I said earlier, Geno isn't playing great either, so that's why they're on this list. I had them being a top notch. I had them being kind of like the Lions, a team that's when they're on, they're on. And really, the Seahawks haven't really been on that much this season. They've mostly been off or kind of lukewarm. So I have the Eagles and Seahawks, my 1 and 2 right now. Number 3, I'm gonna go home to where my heart is. That's my Atlanta Falcons. My Atlanta Falcons, man, 6 and 8 right now. Lost to the formerly one win Panthers. Now they're 2 wins after beating us. Man, I had high hopes for us. I really did. And as I've been saying all year, I'm a Ritter defender. I was saying all year we should keep him. I'm not mad at it, but it's like, man, he just makes the dumbest plays. The interception versus the Panthers, like, bruh, like we're about to we're about to seal the game away, we're about to win it, and you throw a pick that's like not even close to one of our guys. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. So I don't know how I feel about Ritter right now. I really don't. I'm kind of upset with him, but like, man, like, our and it's not like I thought I thought that we could be a top notch team or we could run the NFC, nothing like that. I didn't think that, but I really thought we could make the wild card or we could make or win our division. And then we got Bijan, Pitts, Drake London, Mac Hollins, good old line. The defense has gotten better. Jesse Bates has been phenomenal. And we've had some good moments. Calais Campbell, but it's like, man, like we have the team to at least win the NFC South. We had division most of the year, but Ritter hasn't played up to par and lost us a couple games that we should have won. And now we're 6 and 8 outside of the wild card. Well, we're outside of the wild card spot currently, and NFC South, with the Saints being hot, with the Bucks being hot. So that's a tough spot now. And then we have a tough 3 games in the season. So it's like, man, I don't know if we're gonna get in now, and that's something I didn't expect. So we'll see where it goes from here the rest of the season. The playoffs, to me personally, is kind of doubtful for my Falcons. But like I said, I'm not mad at it because the worse we do, the better position we'll get during the draft. And I did a video as well. I do want the UCLA pass rusher, Liatu Latu. That's the one I really want. So the closer we get to top 5, top 7, the more he's in our realm. Him or Dallas Turner, pass rusher from Bama. So either one of those 2 guys I'm really high on, and we'll see where it goes there. As I said before, I don't want another quarterback from the draft. I want either Kirk Cousins or keep Ritter and get a quarterback in the draft next year. That's my personal thinking on it, but we'll see where it goes from there. But 6 and 8 is not where I thought we would be currently. So that's my number 3 team. Number 4, Pittsburgh Steelers. I did a video on this, I think week 2 or week 3, and it was on Kenny Pickett and the Steelers. Kenny Pickett fooled me. During the preseason, Kenny Pickett looked like an all-world quarterback. He looked phenomenal. He was clicking on all cylinders. He was making great passes. He looked comfortable, all that good stuff. And when the season started, when the official season, week 1 started, Kenny Pickett has not been that. Nowhere close. And that's what really got me upset with him early on during the season, and so far since. I know that he's injured now, and Mitch Trubisky is now playing. Oh, well, now Mr. Rudolph is playing now. Mitch Trubisky just got benched for Rudolph in their last game. I forgot who they played. But, yeah, overall, Pickett has had a rough season. George Pickens is having a weird. He had a stats wise, he's having a better year, but his attitude is disgusting. Like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, George Pickens needs an attitude adjustment quickly. Deontay Johnson, same. He's had his spurts where he's not a good teammate. The offense was just struggling. And I understand that frustration at times because Pickett is not getting the ball to him as much as he should, and people kept blaming the offensive coordinator, the former offensive coordinator, Matt Kennedy. But I blame Pickett. Pickett is not up to bar. He's not playing up to bar. Plain and simple. Najee Harris isn't playing well, and I've mentioned him during the preseason. Same, I said Pickens is playing well. I said during the preseason that Najee Harris is not playing well and should lose a starting spot to Warren. And Warren had some good moments as well, but Warren isn't playing overly great either. So yeah, that Steelers team is imploding on Mike Tomlin. I highly doubt they go 2-1 and save Mike Tomlin's over 500 record. I think they're going to snap this year. And I was wanting to say also, I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen, but I said during the offseason, I did a video on top 5 coaches who could be on the hot seat after this season. I put Mike Tomlin up there at number like 1 or 2. I really think Mike Tomlin could be looked at being fired if the season doesn't finish strong for the Steelers. So they're my 4th team right now. And last but not least, obviously, the San Diego Chargers. Excuse me, the LA Chargers. I apologize. The LA Chargers finally fired their GM and head coach, Brandon Staley, Tom Telesco. And if you know my channel, if you follow me from last season, I did a video around week 3 or week 4 of the 2022 NFL season said they should fire Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco then. I was super early on it. I've been called it. I said, hey, last year, go get Sean Payton because Justin Herbert and his offense needs an offensive mind to kind of fix what the issue is. I don't know what the issue is because Herbert's talented. They have talent on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, but you really need to fix the offense first and worry about the defense last, in my personal opinion. And they did not do that. They kept, and like I said, the offense has been playing okay in certain spots, and they've been playing strong in certain spots, but the defense has really been terrible too. But Brandon Staley is a defensive guy, so I'm like, yeah, the defense playing this bad, and with Staley there as a defensive guy, it doesn't make sense. So my thinking was, switch sides of the ball, have your head coach be an offensive-minded guy, and then you worry about you find a great defensive coordinator and fix that defense. And they went through last year, lost to the Jags in a nasty, epic playoff loss where they lost. They blew like a 20 plus point lead in the second half. And then this year came in and laid a dud of a year this year too. So, as I said, I've been on this bandwagon. It finally happened. Now we'll see where they do go. We know the Spanos family is known to be a cheaper ownership. So with people saying that Bill Belichick's coming and stuff like that, I don't see it happening. I really don't see Bill Belichick coming, even via trade or whatever. It doesn't make sense to me. As I said before, I want an offensive-minded guy. I did a video as well just the other day, right after they got fired, Staley and Tom Telesco. I did a video on the top 5 top 5 coaching candidates for the new head coaching spot for the Chargers, and really, spoiler alert, the top 5 were all offensive guys. I had no defensive guy, no D coordinators, no defensive-minded coaches on the head coaching list. Like I said, if I were a Chargers fan, I would want them to get an offensive-minded guy and fix the offense, especially with their cap space. They're like negative $42 million going into next year. Some of their top guys will be gone. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joey Bosa, Derwin, probably not Derwin James, but not Derwin James, Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack. I think four of those guys, I mentioned 4 guys, Allen, Williams, Bosa, Mack. I think 2 will probably be gone, in my personal opinion. And then you have Austin Eckler being a free agent. He should be going. He had a down year with injuries and just bad play. The O-line is trash. The defense has talent but not playing well outside of Khalil Mack and Asante Samuel Jr. So it's like, what are you going to do? So those are my 5 teams. Eagles, Seahawks, my Falcons, sadly, the Steelers, and the Chargers. are my top 5 most disappointing teams that made my list this season. And like I said, the Eagles can still win the championship, no question about it. But like I said, it's not about the record. It's about how I thought I would envision you playing around this time or throughout the season. And they haven't they've beaten God. They've beaten some good teams. They lost to good teams as well. Cool. But the games they did win, they weren't overly dominant. Jalen Hurts has not been dominant. AJ Brown has, but Hurts, his numbers are his rushing numbers and touchdown numbers are kind of sky high because of the tush push brotherly shove stuff. But outside of that, he's not playing overly great. And that defense outside of Jalen Carter also isn't playing great either. The DBs are getting burnt. The linebacking core, they're better, but they're still not up to par. So yeah, the Eagles definitely are on this list, but they can still win it all. So that's the funny part about it. They're disappointing, but they still are one of the better teams in the whole league. So, but that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.